Welcome back, folks, to a brand new video.
Lisbon, for me, in my opinion, is one of the best cities to visit in the world. Beautiful architecture, reasonable prices, delicious food, and walkable streets. All of these make it a contender for any top European destination. So if you've never been before, let's take a look at 12 beautiful places to visit in Lisbon. So let's start this video with the Alfama district. When most of Lisbon was rocked by the 1755 earthquake, the old Moorish quarter of Alfama stayed standing. With twisting cobbled alleyways and houses in pastel colours, this is hands down one of Lisbon's most charismatic neighbourhoods. So the best way to experience this is obviously to walk around. Being one of Europe's smaller cities, it's compact and it's a great introduction into your city break to Lisbon. And also in this district is Sao Jorge Castle and the Lisbon Cathedral, which you will see later on. Number 2. Torre de Belem. Now the Bellum Tower is located in the neighbourhood of the same name, right at the mouth of the Tagus River. It's easily a must-see tourist attraction when you visit Lisbon, and it's become one of the symbols of the city and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So since its construction in the 16th century, it was built as a fortress to protect the entrance to the port during the reign of Manuel I. So the monument was built in the Manuelian style. So if you want to visit inside of the tower, you need to buy a ticket. I suggest you buy the Lisboa card. So you've just finished visiting the Belem Tower. Now you should head to the Geronimus Monastery. So this is another must-see place to visit in Lisbon. Declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, and it's one of the most important spots in Lisbon. Built to celebrate the return of Vasco da Gama from India, and is where his remains rest. So you can take a tram from the centre of Lisbon, and you can easily see both sites in the same day. The two are separated just by a short walk alongside the river. So afterwards you can soak in the view and people watch from one of the outdoor cafes at Belem. Number 4. Sao Jorge Castle. So this is a historic castle with some of the most panoramic views of the city and the Tagus River. It's quite large, so it can take around half a day. Fortified by Romans and Arabs, and during the reign of Alfonso Enriquez, it underwent many modifications. So to access it, you'll have to go through the Arch of St. George, and once inside, you can visit the towers. And I have to say that you will also get one of the best views of the city of Lisbon. So after exploring Lisbon and you want to sit and relax in a park, best thing to do is head to Eduardo Park, named after Britain's Edward VII. He visited the city in 1903 to further strengthen the Anglo-Portuguese alliance. And as a result, you will find the largest park in central Lisbon. Its design is neatly clipped box hedgings that's flanked by mosaic pattern walkways. and it stretches uphill all the way from Marquês do Pombal Square to a belvedere at the top with very nice views. And there are two other attractions within the park. The hothouse with the more exotic plants, and then the greenhouse that's filled with tropical plants, ponds, and endless varieties of palms and cacti. So this is a great place to park up before you continue your exploring. And now we come to Lisbon Cathedral, a beautiful monument and a Romanesque building from the 12th century. But there you can see the many different architectural styles, such as Roman, Arab, and medieval. So if you want to visit the cloister and treasure room, you'll need to pay an entrance fee just for that. But overall, you can visit the rest of the cathedral for free. Number 7. Praca do Comercio. Now this is Lisbon's grandest square, overlooking the river surrounded by elegant buildings, and it's one of the most important squares in the city. It marks the centre of Lisbon, and is one of the largest squares in Europe. Built where the royal palace was, before the earthquake of 1755 destroyed it. So from here, you can admire the Tagus River, which is why I think it's one of the best places to visit in the city. But I have to highlight one element of the square, and it's the Arca da Rua Augusta, which is located on the north side. Next up is the famous Santa Justa lift, located in the downtown district. This wonderful location will give you some of the best views of the city of Lisbon. Built in 1902, it was inspired by the famous tower in Paris. Built in 1902, the design was inspired by the famous tower in Paris and colleague Gustave Eiffel. So this wrought iron tower can take you all the way to the platform where a walkway leads to the ruins of a Gothic church that was partially destroyed again during the Great Earthquake of 1755. But alternatively, you can climb the staircase right to the top of the elevator and enjoy some panoramic views of the entire Baixa neighbourhood. Basilica G, a beautiful old church with impressive architecture and design inside and out. Easily accessible by bus and tram, number 28 stops right in front. So as you enter, the building doesn't disappoint, showcasing its own personality in the form of, multiple altars to local saints, colourful stonework, all with the normal quiet of such a building. But if you're looking for more of an experience, there are budget-friendly tickets available to go right to the top and even go into the building's dome. Now, if you're wondering what to do in Lisbon for free, now you have to know that there are so many overlooks from which you can get magnificent views of the city, day or night. And this is thanks to the city being built on 7 hills. As you can see, it's a great thing to do in Lisbon. So there are even more rooftops in Lisbon, so go out there, explore, and just enjoy the wonderful views. And for number 11, Monument to the Discoveries. So this is a large monument which stands on the banks of the river in Lisbon. On the outside there are sculptures of the many Portuguese explorers who took the country's message to other continents. So you can see the sculptures overhang the water at the front, so you can only really see the three sides, unless you're on a boat. On the inside, there's a lower level with a museum and exhibition space, and also a lift, which takes you to another viewing area at the top. And for number 12, I'm going to suggest two locations. And the first location is to take a very popular day trip from Lisbon to the town of Sintra. And it takes 40 minutes specifically by train. Renowned for its fairy tale-like landscape, colourful palaces, historic estates and lush gardens. But the highlights here is of course Pena Palace and the castle. So after your day trip to Sintra and you make your way back to Lisbon, you can check out the National Pantheon. It was a church when it was built in 1682, but it became the National Pantheon in 1916. Its large dome was only completed 50 years later, making it a monument that took the longest to complete in all of the country. Now the highlight here is the interior, inspired by St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. The view on the outside is okay, with mostly views of tiled roofs, but you can get better rooftop views from some of the places I mentioned earlier.
And there you have it, folks, just a little taste of Lisbon. I think it's a great city break if you want to visit in the spring or the autumn time. Also, I highly recommend that you take a day trip to Sintra. It's a perfect opportunity for you to do so. That's it from me. Thanks for watching. Let me know which cities that you want me to check out next, and I will see you all on the next one.